Okay, so it's really kind of a long story to type it out, so I'm just going to video record myself saying it to you. So, anyways, I've been really sad. And I've been doubting not my love for Gary, but his love for me. Just trying to read things, and I don't know, you get scared because you never know what the other person is thinking in their head. You think you know because you know what you feel, but you just really never know how much somebody really loves you. So, I'm trying not to get hysterical here, but that song I've heard years ago. But yeah, thank you. Had to get the lyrics up and read everything because, yeah, um, that's something we'd always say is forever. So, yeah, forever yours, forever and always. All those things are us. So, in any case, the story, hopefully I can send this on Facebook Messenger if it cuts me off a couple times. Sorry, you'll just have to listen to it. So, I've been selling things, not because we're desolate or anything, but just because I guess spring cleaning and decluttering my mind and things. So, I have a treadmill that Gary got me. I used it a few times, but I'm just that girl that always said, "Oh, I'm so fat. I need a treadmill. I need to do things." And the loving husband that I had, he went and he got me one. Well, it's just been sitting out here in the garage collecting dust, so I decided to sell it on, Facebook Marketplace. So I listed it. I had, 10 or 15 people message me about it. Nobody ever showed up. Nobody ever really seemed like they wanted it. So something told me, maybe I should keep it. So I deleted the listing. Well, last Sunday after church, I just felt the Holy Spirit just like prompting me, list it, list it, list it. And I was like, why? Like, maybe I want to keep it now. Maybe I should go and run and it'll be good to get my endorphins, get this sadness out of me. And something just telling me to do it. So, me, woman of faith, I obeyed. And so I listed it. Not very long, maybe 30 minutes it was on there. And this lady messaged me and she said, I'm going to come get it today. And I said, oh, wow. And, she wasn't like negotiating the price. She was just like, I'm coming to get it. I'm 30 minutes away. I'll be there in 30 minutes with my husband. Because I told her on message, my husband died. So I can't lift this huge treadmill. Hopefully you have someone that can, help you. And she said, yeah, my husband's coming with me. So 30 minutes later, the lady comes. She pays me $150. That was my asking price. She gave me the $150. She loads up the treadmill. Seemed like nice people, her and her husband. It was, out in my garage, so I closed my garage door. I come inside. And as I came inside, I don't know why, I was just kind of lingering. And I kind of watched them load it up. And then I saw her husband come to my front door. And I was kind of like, what is going on? So went back out through the garage and opened up the garage door. As soon as I opened up the garage door, the lady is standing there, hysterically crying. And I'm going in my head, what did she, drop this treadmill on her foot? Is she, did she get injured? Oh my gosh, what is happening? All these things are going through my head looking at this lady. And she looks at me and she says, you're Jess, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah. And I didn't even correlate that on Facebook I'm under Jessica Ader, not Jess, just because so many people call me Jess. And so I just was kind of like, duh, like, yeah, I'm Jess. You should know that. You've been messaging me. And she's just looking at me, just tears streaming down her eyes. And, she's got a mask on, but you could tell in her mouth and everything she was quivering, she was shaking. And she's like, you gotta tell me. And I'm like, what? And she's like, it can't be Gary. And I said, what? Like, huh? And she's like, you said your husband died. It can't be Gary. And I said, yeah, how did you know my husband? And she's like, I'm Sonia. And I saw her name on, the Facebook message, Sonia. And as soon as she said, I'm Sonia, rush of emotion in my head. I've never met this woman. But Gary had like a health inspector person that wasn't a health inspector for the state. It was a person that worked for Subway that would come and inspect his store. The first lady was a beautiful African American woman named Hannah. She actually babysat our kids growing up, has been with them every step of the way. Sweet, sweet lady. I still talk to her every day. Sonia was Hannah's replacement. And Sonia's maybe been with the company for the last maybe 5 years, 3 years, something like that. And Gary worked for Subway for 10. So as soon as she said Sonia, I was like, Sonia, the inspector, I tell her. And she says, yes. And she's like, told me that she just recently got fired from Subway, that they fired her too, just like they fired my husband. I tell her that story. And she is just like, how? He didn't get COVID. And I said, no, it wasn't COVID. And I tell her the cancer story and how it was just so fast. And she's just hysterical, making me hysterical. And she just like kind of grabbed my arm and she says, that man, he loved you so much. That's all he talked about was you. He said that you have the most beautiful singing voice. And you're so beautiful, and you're going to be famous one day. And that's all he went on about, is that you're going to be famous. You're going to be a famous singer. You're going to be a famous actress. You're just going to be famous. And he went on and on, always about you and just how much he loved you and how wonderful you were, how much he loves your boys. She said he told me about, the 2 boys that you guys have together, and she was just like, he loved the boys so much. He'd tell me different things of, this one's doing this and this one's doing that. And she says, I don't remember the names, but I know it was 2 boys. And I said, yes, Edward and Lucas. So in any case, I didn't hug her or anything, but we just kind of looked at each other, and she just was like, I'm so sorry. I can't believe it's Gary. No, I can't believe it. And I told her, I know. We can't believe it ourselves. And then she left because she had to get on the road 30 minutes down the way, and her husband's kind of like, okay, come on, honey, we got to go. So then I sent her a message after she left on Messenger, and I said, thank you so much for, telling me who you were. And I said, Gary, and he did. He always wanted me to meet Sonia. He would tell me about this person, and he would say, oh, man, you should meet her. She's just such a sweet person. She's so nice and everything. And my husband was the type of guy that he was not very openly friendly with people unless he really respected you or trusted you in some capacity. He was very much kind of like a Shrek in the sense of, you have to peel back all them layers like an onion to get the nice Gary. A lot of times he would come off as scary Gary to people, and a lot of people thought he was arrogant. So a lot of people would take it as snobby or cocky, and it's just his personality. He has walls. He always did have walls up, and different people he'd let through, and you could always tell those people were, number one, they were a godly person, and they were, good-hearted and sweet. And in any case, I told her that. And she said, well, I guess God and Gary orchestrated our meeting. And I didn't tell her about, listing and deleting the listing and then relisting the treadmill. But, I know, and now you know. And I've shared the story with, my mom. And I still talk to Tina. Talk to her like once a week. So I told her that too, because she's a big advocate of, she believes we're twin flames, me and Gary, which is I guess beyond a soulmate. So whatever, everybody has their own views and things, but it's just beautiful that some people that, because even Tina, she would hear stuff, and just like you would kind of live life with us through Facebook. But the love, I guess, that we shared just really jumped off the page and the pictures and the post, and people could see that we loved each other. And like I said, I needed those signs because I have been feeling like he didn't really love me. Maybe we weren't meant to be, because he's gone and I'm stuck here and I don't understand why. So it's hard. Well, I love you, girl, and thank you so much. And God bless to you and your family. It means the world to me. Thank you.